Hello Texans, everybody, this is Ra. And these are the things that I like about WWE2k14. Sorry it's taken so long for me to put this up here. It's been long awaited, but I thank you for your patience. Now, things that I like about the game, the audio is just a little bit better. When you put someone through a table, it sounds a lot more authentic, a lot more crisp. I've done a few elbow drops off the table, a few rock bombs to my opponents through the table, and it just sounds a lot more, it has that crunch when you put them through a table, just loud. It sounds more authentic. That's one of the things that I like. Along with the faster pace and the mannerisms that they've given, they pretty much took it from Legends of WrestleMania, like when, the wrestler may be just walking around the ring, he might like move his arm, stretch his arm, or adjust his like tights or something like that, or tell the opponent to get up or something like that, without you even having the time with the button or the stick. Um, and the faster pace too does add a lot to it. Um, Another thing that I definitely like um, were the multiple attires. Hulk Hogan has about 6 attires. John Cena has about maybe 8 or 9 attires. Um, just all the multiple attires were good. I wish a lot more people had them. Like maybe CM Punk could have had an alternate attire instead of just having. They even did it. They used superstar heads, so you could have CM Punk from WrestleMania uh, this year when you fought Undertaker at I think WrestleMania 29, and they used superstar heads to create CM Punk's attire for that. They could have just added his attire where he has like stars on his boots as the alternate attire for more authenticity. But the fact that a lot of people do have multiple attires was very good. I mean, they got The Rock, and he has Hollywood Rock, uh, Rock from 2001, Rock from 1999. So that's pretty cool. One of the things that I loved about it is that they worked on the wrestler staying down for much longer. I've had people give me finishers and I did not get right back up. There were moments where people were putting me through tables or have done certain finishers on me. I did get right back up, but more than likely, most of the time, I'll get put through a table or superplexed outside the ring, or DDT'd on an apron or spear through the barricade. Um, and I'll be down for 30 to 40, 30 to 50 seconds. The case where I've seen it the most evident, were in cage matches, and that still needs a little bit of work as far as when you fight somebody, they don't stay down long enough. Um, but ladder matches is where it shines the most. It's like you knock somebody off a ladder through a table or do a finisher to them off the ladder, they're down for the count almost. You could go ahead and do a couple of turns off the ladder if you want to. Just mess with them, make them think that you're gonna grab the belt, and then don't, and then they'll still be down. So I like that. Um, Speaking of The Rock, I spoke of The Rock a few moments ago, a few seconds ago, about The Rock Retro having The Rock, from Hollywood Rock and 1999 Rock. They did a pretty good job as far as making his face and body look different from The Rock now. They look a lot different. They did the same thing with Undertaker. Undertaker Retro, with the gloves, with the purple on, and the long trench coat looks different. Skin tone, complexion wise, and face wise, he looks different from the one currently. So that's pretty good. Um, and strike combos. Now this was also a gripe of mine because they made a lot of moves, strong strikes like I think it was the Jigoku Toki and a few other moves. They made strong strikes, so you couldn't pick them as a regular strike. I think the spinning heel kick was one too. Um, but on a positive side of them, at that change, they made it where some strike combos, the strong strikes, were now the end of your combo. So like with The Rock is most evident because with The Rock you had 3 punches and then you had to stun him, then do a strong strike, rock punch. Whereas on here it's like you could do 3 punches in the last strike without having to press any added pressure or apply any added pressure to the button to do a strong strike. Actually has The Rock's punch to finish it off. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That was actually the positive side of the change they made with the strikes. The streak mode, streak, pretty challenging. It reminds me of a boss fight on a fighting game. The Undertaker is like Shao Kahn, or he's like Malak, or he's like the Dragon King, or he's like M. Bison in this game. It's pretty cool. Um, he's pretty difficult to beat. I beat him a few times with my creative character, but I it was pretty cheap. I beat him with the bell the whole match pretty much, and my ranking, my numbers weren't that great. I pretty much just beat the hell out of him with a bell the whole match. So, but it takes me back to the challenge mode of SmackDown vs. Raw, and the Survivor mode of No Mercy. That was pretty. I know I'm saying pretty a lot, but it was nice. It was a nice addition to the game. I think it served its purpose. I think it was an awesome addition to the game. Online, albeit it does have its flaws every now and then. Sometimes it won't allow me to. The servers will not work for a few minutes, but they're a lot better this time. I haven't had the old split screen era where you would think you won the match and it would freeze, only to find out that the other person also won the match. And it's like, oh, that sucks. That's not been the case in 2K14. I haven't had that. I have had like lag and like connection issues, matches ending because of people having bad connections, but that happens. Overall, the online is a lot better. Like with the creative community creations, you don't have any problems downloading anybody, um, or the renders on the side of the character showing up, which were perennial on WWE 13. The only way you could see them, the logo, the little WWE logo, will just forever be loading, and you'll never see like a glimpse of the superstar. But online is much better. Community creations is much better. Um, I also like that well, I'm ambivalent towards it, but they replaced the star ratings for like create characters to yes and no, and I think that was an homage to Daniel Bryan maybe, but some creations are just you want to give them a 3-star. You want to say I'm in the middle. It's okay. But now it's just like yeah or no, and some are like a reluctant yeah at that. So that I'm kind of like yay and nah at the same time. I thought it would have been better to add in the likes. Um, Leverage pin. I don't know if this was in the previous games or any of the previous games, but like leverage pins could come out of nowhere. Like somebody can like try to hit you. You could do a leverage pin. They could try to run and strike you. Leverage pin. Um, it may have been in WWE 13. I'm not sure, but like they come out of nowhere a lot better now, so that's cool. Um, entrance attires, cool addition. Virtually everybody in the game has an entrance attire. Primetime players even have them, and the fact that you can edit the color of them, it works pretty well with guys like Ric Flair and his robes or Hulk Hogan. At one point, Hulk Hogan actually wore a blue Hulkamania shirt. He had a match against Paul Orndorff. It was a no disqualification match. And he actually wore blue, along with white boots and trunks and blue knee pads. And I was able to give him that attire. Albeit the design of the Hulkamania logo was a little bit different on a blue shirt, it looked good enough, and that's pretty cool when you could do it with people like Hulk Hogan, or change John Cena's shirts. Like I changed his yellow shirt to the dark blue color scheme. Um, and I just think that's very convenient that we could edit the entrance attires. One thing I would have liked is the ability to turn off the entrance attires. Um, that would have been very sensible to add. But nonetheless, entrance attires and the ability to edit them was a cool welcoming. I welcome it to the next game. Hopefully they have in 2K15. It's pretty awesome. The next thing that I liked was the music jukebox. We actually have more, liberty over which songs play or if none of them play at all in the background. In fact, we can even take our own soundtrack and make that the only music that plays in the background. And that's nice. That's really nice. You could, if you're a big fan of the Rock's Hollywood theme like I am, you could have that be the only song that plays in the background. When you get tired of that, make it Glass Shattered Stone Cold's theme. So that's nice. I like that. More people are gonna pick their own music. So I don't have any problems with it. Um, Entrance wise, they have the ability to turn off minitrons. I haven't seen it really work its magic with creator arenas and like people using textures for arenas yet. I haven't really downloaded any arenas with textures besides some that's in the ring to see like if you created like Nitro, you had the real Nitro background on the stage. About turning off minitrons, it interferes with that. I think it should be black. Um, but now you can turn it off or you can have it on. Um, you can turn off the side screens or little curtain screens too. That's nice. Um, and another thing that I was very fearful of when the game came out was the oh my god moments. They had a lot of new ones. They had the DDT off the apron. They had Undertaker's exclusive suicide dive with the third rope. They had what else did they have? The When you have their head on a post and you could like kick their head on the post. And I was worried about those new oh my god moments replacing the previous ones that were in the game, like the spear through the barricade or the superplex to the outside or the superplex that breaks the ring where you got two super heavyweights. But actually they retained them, and that was very good. That was very good because I just thought, in my mind, I thought they were going to preempt them with the new ones since there were so many. Catch finishers, I like catch finishers. Catch spear is actually maybe my favorite one. Um, Ambivalence. Here we go with ambivalence again. I feel both ways about the ability to counter them. Well, not even counter them, but once they're done, you can't really hit them to stop it. And they're some of the most powerful moves in the game. There are very few times that you do a catch finisher and they're gonna, kick out. So really some of the most powerful moves in the game are actually the catch finishers. And you can't really stop it once they caught you. Same thing applies to a few moves in the game, like the super power bomb is still after maybe the second one, or maybe after the first one you can't like stop it. Nor can you stop the perfect plex once it's like it's it's such a fast move you can't really block that either. But catch finishers are pretty awesome. I thought it was a great addition to bring into the game. And as you can see, they're doing the same thing Rockstar did with Red Dead. They're just borrowing from previous games. Like they brought this in from All Stars and made it a little bit more realistic looking. So that's pretty cool. They had that in. Plus, you could just, if you don't want to give them a catch finisher, you can just give them a flapjack. So that's nice. Some of them don't make sense, like the yes lock, but others do make a lot of sense. The spear, the choke slam could have been better. But you got the RKO, stuff like that. Edit entrance attires. I already spoke of that. I like that you could change the placement of without having to like switch. Like, okay, let's say you got X and Smash. You created those guys, which really it really doesn't matter which one's on side. Let's try Crime Time. You want to create them, and you can tell which one is JTG, or even too cool. You can tell which one is Grandmaster Sexay's part of entrance or Sky Two Hotties. I think you could switch the placement of them during the entrance. Like, okay, he goes here. Or I think it only applies to trios. So, like, if you pick, like, Rikishi, Scott 2 Hottie, Grandmaster Sexay, you would have to have, like, if you put the tag team, Grandmaster Sexay and Scott 2 Hottie, or the trio, Rikishi, it's like, Rikishi may be doing what Scotty 2 Hottie is doing. So, you could change the placement of them doing the entrance, which is pretty convenient. Uh, Taunts. They've added audio to taunts, which is them borrowing from WCW Revenge. I thought that was nice. You got R-Truth has one, Titus O'Neil has one, Daniel Bryan has one. It would have been nice to have yes to go along with no. You weren't given that luxury, but yes is nice. I mean, no being in the game is nice, especially during his entrance. Um, can't really think of anybody else who has one. I saw in the commercial they had Macho Man, but that wasn't a good sound of Macho Man. I don't know if Jay Lethal did that, but it would have been great to have him do his dead on Macho Man impression. To have him say, "Oh yeah," in the game for Macho Man. Kind of like we had in WCW Revenge, which is, I take it that that's where they got that from. One of my favorite things, above all, is the ability to set it where you can make this attire the default attire. So when you press X, it's just that attire. I did it with Shield because Shield's attire to me looked kind of brown by default. So I made it darker and named it Authentic Black or Authentic Color Scheme or Authentic Colors. And just Authentic. And I went to WWE, my WWE mode, and you could set that attire as its default attire. So you could just press X and you're onto it. It works a lot better when you got characters who only had like one different attire. But some characters have older attires, like Cody Rhodes' attire. The purple is pretty antiquated by now. He wears the green now. And I set the green, it's his more recent attire. It's the default. So when I press X, it just goes straight to that attire. And you could do this in almost any match. You still you only have a little bit of liberty to do in King of the Ring mode. Like, once you select the attire, you can't select the attire, unlike the previous King of the Ring mode. I don't think you can set attires at all. But on here you can, but it's like once you pick that attire, it seems like you're stuck with just that attire. Um, and you could actually change the arena in King of the Ring mode to make it look like, hey, I had this match on Raw, then this match on SmackDown, and finally at the pay-per-view. So I thought it would have been a little bit more authentic to be able to pick attires. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll have to check again. But the default attires is pretty nice. I like that you could set random attires too. You could just select random and pick any of the attires you had. Um, Instead of having to go to like a little silhouette of random, you could press triangle and pick a random character. It should have always just stayed a button to pick a random character. Let me see what else. I like that we have 100 slots for created wrestlers. And last but not least, I like that we have it where we could actually pick um, when we're like going to categories of moves. We can just press L1 or R1 and we can see all the new moves. It's an actual category like arms, body moves, slam, strike, suplexes. They actually have a category for like all the new moves. So you could, I'm like one of those people when I buy the game, I like to see all the new stuff in the game, all the new entrances, all the new attires, and all the new models. So it's really nice to have it where I could go to the new moves and just see all the new moves in one little category. So these are all the things that I liked about the game. Sorry if it dragged a little bit. Sorry if it was too long. But thank you for watching. I thank you for your patience once again. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you like, be it video response or in the comments, about what you like about this game, WWE 2k14. Have a great day.